If you want to experience life, you have to find it now, because you're not going to find it anywhere else, ever, ever. You will never find it but now. That's the mind blower. And if you find it, it doesn't matter what you think, what you encounter, anything. It doesn't matter. All of those are projections. All of that's based on past experience, which was not centered in the now, based on a standard which was obvious. The components of consciousness, it's just like the ingredients of baking a pie or some bread or some cookies or anything for that matter. It's the overall concept. So what we've got is we have a now and the imagination, which is what life is. Imagination, but not imagination alone, takes the building blocks, and you've got to have some kind of cohesion, something to bring it together, to make it stick together, to become a form. Then you have to have an observer of the form to call it something and to label it, and then spread it around to everybody, and once they understand what it is that you're saying and creating, then there's an agreement. This country never existed for 300 years ago, based on an idea and concept and experiences of the human race based on a paradigm coming up, evolving out of what it had not experienced before, the technology that was happening, the society. But as much as society's been going along, it hasn't really changed. All the ingredients are the same: emotions, feelings, concepts, awareness, and judgment. You throw judgment in there, party. And who doesn't judge? Huh? That's one thing that we're really good at. It's program edition robotic human beings. Personally, I gave up being a human being February 8th. The only thing left here is a program that's running on autopilot. All the data that's been stored up in this little balloon, like God said, okay, here's a Joel balloon. Everything inside of that balloon is from the one. The only reason why it looks like it's separate is because there's a veil. Veil is a barrier, the balloon. If the barrier breaks, just like when a baby is born, water breaks, it becomes source energy again. But that is what you are. Started out as that. You are that now. You will be that in the future. This little enclosure called a body, mind, mortal mind, use any phrase you want, seems to be a form of hypnosis. A dis-ease. Dis-ease is in the human program. It is based on fear. And without fear, there would be any love. How do you know that? You don't. You can't get that from me. I'm just saying, man. So what I'm going to share with you guys, I've lived my life like an open book for 30 some odd years now. Since the bubble burst, the balloon, the membrane, the veil, I got to create some additional data about how to explain it. But it will never actually explain that problem. I can come up with a close approximation of what would make a good story, a good movie, science fiction. I can explain to you how the program works, how you can actually do something about the program. You don't do anything about the program in terms of out there necessarily, not necessarily, not unnecessarily either. You have to start with yourself. You have to start with your own program. And you see it everywhere. You see it in other people. You see it when they speak to you. You can, if you start reading energies, you can see when they're projecting. Their minds are projecting way ahead of the now. Some project a few seconds. Mine can project thousands of years in the future or your second. I have a wide range of a thought bridge. You might have asked yourself, what is a thought bridge? Well, it has a lot of different meanings. It's funny how two words put together. When I'm on the phone and talk to all kinds of people, they say, well, where do you live? Thought Bridge Village. What? Not the village part they don't get. It's Thought Bridge. Simple words. Thought Bridge. Thought Bridge.